Hey everyone, it's Sarah the Redneck Bifocal Stitcher. Welcome to my Flosstube all about cross stitch. Today is Wednesday, June 5th, and this is episode number 11. For some reason, I keep thinking January. It's just because it's a J month. But anyway, yes, it's June, as evidenced by the nice weather outside. So anyway, welcome to my channel. I appreciate your willingness to spend some time out of your busy schedules to listen to me talk about my stitching and give little updates about my life, especially lately. For that, I want to say thank you to all of you who left comments on my last video, encouraging me and giving me positivity. I'm in a time in my life where things are a little difficult, and yeah, I'll give you some updates on what's going on now as soon as I show you all of my stitching. And I don't have a whole lot to show. I made some quite lofty goals for Mania. So that's what happens when you make goals after you had just spent a month on an LOA and had all the time in the world to stitch. And then all of a sudden you think, oh, I can do this. Yeah, I can get this many stitches done. So yeah, I'm surprised I came as close as I did to meeting all those goals, but I'm excited to show you what I have. Oh, and for those of you who came from Floss Boss and Cousins, Christy did say that she liked my name because it had redneck in the title. So I want to explain. I came up with the moniker of the Redneck Bifocal Stitcher at Camp Black Needle Society 2 years ago. I wanted to just sign my name Sarah, but with there being so many Sarahs out in the world, the best way to identify myself was as the Redneck Bifocal Stitcher, because this is how I stitch. So, and I mean, even in life, I will go to the store and I'll have my Redneck Bifocals on top of my head. I almost treat it like it's a headband now, but anyway, they do come in handy. And yeah, so there is my Redneck Bifocal reasoning why. Plus it kind of keeps my flyaways at bay. Anyway, so Mania, I set a goal to finish 2 specific projects, get 2,000 stitches on 2 specific projects, and then start 2 specific projects with 2,000 stitches. Oh my gosh. And when I had originally written it up before editing it and saying this is the final goal, I had said 3,000 stitches on the 2 currents and the 2 starts, which there's no way I would have met that. But anyway, so the first thing that I wanted to do was get 2,000 stitches or more in Live on Little. And oh, here, I'm so excited. Here's where I was before, and here's where I am now. Oh, I'm in love with this. I'm in love with this whip. This is my favorite whip, hands down. I just love this so much. I worked on the ocean. I think when I started at the beginning of Mania, all that grass was done. So I did all of the ocean, and it's hard to see on here, but it shows better to me, the sails on the boat. But anyway, what's really cool about this is Paulette has the nautical alphabet listed on one of the sheets in the pattern, with all of the different letters of the alphabet so that you could customize what you wanted yours to show. And so mine is SVD for Seraphim, and my maiden name instead of my middle name I used so that I didn't have 2 of the same flags. I liked having a little bit different. So there's that. Oh, I am in love with this so much. I hope that all of you watching have whips that you love as much as I love this. I'm having so much fun, and I think I'm taking quite a while on this just because I'm enjoying it. I don't want to race through this. I'm enjoying every stitch. I really, truly am. And plus, now that I have this section done, the house doesn't seem so huge. But oh, this is still so fantastic. And this is on a 36 count Shrekie's tan from Needle Bling Designs. And I'm using all of the called for flosses, and I'm stitching it 1/2. Yes, love it so much. And then I have 2,000 plus stitches that I put in on my 4 elements. And this is another one. I think between Live on Little and the 4 elements, these are my 2 favorite whips. Here's the design, so pretty. And then here's where I was. Got to remember all these different things that you have to do when you film Flosstube. And then here is where I am now. Ooh, it's so pretty. Yep, I moved over into the grass, and then I had like 100 stitches left before the end of the month to meet the goal, and I thought I just want to do some quick blocks of color, so I started in on the rainbow just right up there. Gorgeous, gorgeous piece. I love the colors, and I know I say that every single time, but I do. I love this. I love the colors. I love everything about it. This is a 32 count piece of black linen. I think I just got it off 1-2-3 Stitch, and I'm using the DMC conversion provided by Satsuma Street. So there it is. Love it so, so much. And then one of my goals was to finish a new constellation, which I did, and I don't have it with me to show you, but here's it finished. I wanted to make sure that this was framed and ready to go so that I could submit it to the Utah State Fair this year. And I also finished That's No Moon from the Witchy Stitcher, and I stitched that for my husband as a gift. He's never received a cross stitch from me until now. We've only been married 27 years. And I thought, you know, it's the least I could do to say thank you to him for especially the last 2 months and how things have gone. So what better way than to just give him something. His love language is gift giving. So I hope by giving him a gift, he understands how much I really do truly appreciate him. So both of those are off at the framer, and by the time I film again, I'll have something to show you. So my last two goals for Mania were to start American Welcome from Plum Street Samplers, and I can't find my hard copy. I think it's probably over here in the bookshelf somewhere. So here's the design. I know that this was a retreat exclusive, and I can't remember which one, but I knew that as soon as it was released to the public, I wanted to get it and stitch it, so I did. I picked up the specialty floss that Color and Cotton did for this design, and then I'm using the rest of the called for DMC colors. So here is my start on American Welcome, and again, I love this so much. I just love Paulette's designs. They speak to me for some reason. I don't know. Like I've said before, I've entered my Plum Street era. So here it is. I love this so much. I don't think any of the colors I've used so far are anything but the Color and Cotton, and I'm really enjoying it. This is, I wrote it down. I'm doing this on a 40 count piece of Hogbristle from Fox and Rabbit. I think this was the alternative fabric for the design, and I chose 40. I just want to try doing more smaller pieces as far as the stitch count goes. So there's that. But yeah, I'm really enjoying this, and it's going quicker than I thought it would. So there it is. I love it. And then my other goal, which I actually did not meet, I came up 1,000 stitches short. I had taken it to work. The 31st was on a Friday, and usually, and this is where I failed. Usually Friday nights are not as busy in the OR, just because it's the beginning of the weekend and a lot of people want to get home. So I made the assumption that, I can knock out a bunch of the color blocking on Friday night. And sure enough, Friday night we were slammed. I don't think I got out of cases until after midnight. So yeah, I did that to myself, but whatever. So I wanted to start Kringles from Little House Needleworks, and a lot of you are familiar with this design. Oh, I've seen this done by a few different people, and it's so great. I've got a friend, Candace, who actually did her last name instead of Kringles, and I thought that was really creative and clever. And I've thought, well, maybe I could do that for my last name because it would fit. I just don't know if I want to take the time and do it, but here it is. I love this. And then here is my little start. I am doing this on a 36 count piece of Old Stationery by Seraphim Fabrics. And I started right in the middle. There's that little clock. The face of the clock is going to be a gold metallic. The pattern calls for an Overa Swan metallic, but I'm just going to use something that I have in my stash. But I'm really liking how this has turned out. This is roughly 1,000 stitches right here, and it seems so strange that this would be such a large number of stitches, but it is. You know, I was talking to a friend about that earlier today. The number of stitches, like you wouldn't think that that's 1,000. It looks like it would be less, but it really is. I don't know. Does anybody else feel like that? It doesn't look like it, but it really is. Anyway, I'm kind of thinking about turning this into a monthly goal where I can work on each one of these little sections, one a month, to see if I can finish this within a year, which I doubt it. But, and then kind of work on the structure of the house in between all of that. Does that make sense? I don't know. I've never really been good about planning and sticking to something. I really do like stitching what I want when I want. So there it is. It'll get finished when it gets finished. So yeah, that's what I worked on in the whole of May. Only 6 designs. Yeah, I only worked on 6 designs, but 2 were finished. One was small and one was, you know, a new constellation. That's quite a feat, I will say. Yeah, so there it is. And then with the beginning of June and Monday was my 27th wedding anniversary. I decided I wanted to start on something that I am making for us, me and my husband. I don't have any kind of wedding sampler, and I saw the wedding sampler that Lindsay had created, Lindsay of Primrose Cottage, had done for her marriage, and thought this would be good. It's very sweet. The colors are great. Oh, here it is. But it's All Things Grow with Love. I did pick this up from them at Stitch West. I love these colors. It's bright, it's cheerful, and I need some cheer. So this is something that I started to get my mind off of things in the present. And then here is where I am now. And I'm doing this on a 32 count mystery fabric. And I'm just using all of the called for colors. That's a shadow behind. It looks like there's something right here, but it's just a shadow. But I'm really liking how this is turning out so far. Bright and cheery. So that's all of the stitching that I've done. I really didn't want to start another project, but yeah, I needed a distraction. So, and I will say my reflections are not that great right now. I kind of did some test runs with showing my stitching. I'm going to start out with the first thing that I brought back from the framer. This is the Night Spirit Studio that I was talking about my last video. He used my scissors to cut paper, and I know that there's really no good way to get, let's see if I can focus on this more. Yeah, there we go. But this is, he used my scissors to cut paper from Night Spirit Studio. I did this with my own DMC conversion, and it's on, oh my gosh, it's from Steel City Stitchers. Did I say that? I did. But yeah, there it is. I love how it turned out. The reflection is not noticeable when you look at it in person. Most of you know that. But oh, I love this frame. I just love how that looks. That's great. Then I picked up Salem Sisters Apothecary, and I have a different frame for that one. And I love how this turned out. Yeah, this is on Spiced Honey from Color and Cotton with just DMC 310. Love that one. And I don't want to ruin my frames here. I really should show this one. No, I'm not going to show this one just yet because he's my favorite. But here is my Leave My Loneliness Unbroken that I did from Witchy Stitcher. And again, oh, perfect frame for this design. I don't know how well you can see it, but I love how those swirlies represent the little swirlies in the fence. I just love how these go together. It's a busy frame, but for this piece it works. So there's that. I can't remember what fabric I did this on. It's a Picture This Plus Legacy. There it is. And this one was with DMC 310 too. So there's that. That one I'm showing last for a reason, but oh, I love this guy. Look at him. Oh, he turned out so great. Let me see if I can focus on him. There we are. Oh, my distinguished gentleman. And I have to say, when I dropped off a new constellation, and That's No Moon, at my framer yesterday, she told me how much fun she had playing with her mat cutting program and coming up with this mat to work for this design. And it's so perfect because it looks like this is his little snout and those are his teeth coming out. Oh, I love it. I love this frame. Let me see if I can focus on it again. Yeah. I love how the frame looks. It's got some depth to it. But oh, yeah, I love this guy so much. And I've got the toad that I need to start. Oh, I love this guy. And I have him sitting right here on the wall so that I can stare at him from my stitchy chair. Oh, I love him. Sorry for the breaking continuity. I had a phone call. I needed to answer it. We're done. Anyway, the last piece that I want to show you is the piece that I picked up from my framer. I sent it off before I went into surgery on the 22nd of March, and it is the Strength and Dignity that was designed by Annie the Proper Stitcher. She released it at market this year, and it's the piece that I saw after my diagnosis, and I knew that I needed to stitch it. It just summed up how I needed to approach and felt that I needed to approach this whole cancer diagnosis and subsequent road ahead. So here is Strength and Dignity, and I'm really happy with how it turned out. Let me flip that up and see if that makes it a little bit better. I didn't get museum glass. I get so many things framed. And because we live in the desert, I do use glass. So anyway, hopefully you can see it well enough. But I love how the frame complements the pattern so well. I chose a darker matte just to bring out some of the darker shades of, I don't want to say pink, this is more of a mauve. But yeah, I just didn't want it to be too much of a light pink washout. But I'm just so happy with how this turned out. And I have this hanging up right next to the doorway of the Room of Creativity. And I look at it every day. I read this verse and I keep it in mind as I continue to go down this road. dealing with cancer. So there it is. I cannot thank her enough for having the inspiration to do this piece. It's absolutely the most perfect thing for this time of my life. So if you're watching, thank you so much, Annie. Anyway, like she would be watching me. Whatever. Anyway, that's all I have to show you for my stitching for now. So if you want to hang out, I do have some updates, but if you're not interested in that, I still appreciate your willingness to spend some time with me and watch me show you all of my stitching and the progress that I've made. And I hope you come back. And on that note, have a great day stitching, and I'll talk to you later. If you're sticking around, here we are. I was hoping that this time I would be coming on and saying I had my CT scan and met with my oncologist and everything is clear and I'm cancer free. But I had my CT scan done last Thursday, and my oncologist called me that evening and said, hey, I know we're meeting later this week, or later this month, sorry. And I saw some things that we need to get taken care of before you meet with me in person. We need to just kind of rule some things out, more or less. He did say that radiologists are not perfect and sometimes they make mistakes. So he wanted to order another PET CT to rule out some things that the radiologists brought to his attention. First up, I have some spots that they're calling hypodensities in my liver, and they don't want to rule out metastatic disease. And so my oncologist wants to have those looked at, but more so than those spots, he saw a report of a 1.5 centimeter nodule growing on my adrenal gland, on my left adrenal gland. And if you're not familiar with human anatomy, and I'm sorry if all of you are, some might know, some might not. There it is. But your adrenal gland sits on top of your kidney. So I have a 1.5 centimeter nodule on my adrenal gland, and that is bigger concern to him than the spots. So yeah, he put in the order for the PET CT on Thursday night of last week, and I didn't find out until yesterday, Tuesday, that my insurance had approved it, which I am absolutely truly grateful for. I was super nervous that they were going to say no because it's a very expensive procedure, and yeah, they approved it. So thank you to my insurance. So a week from today, I'll be going in and having my second PET CT done to rule out any additional things that need to be addressed. I have not been in a good frame of mind, and I have really heavily relied on my quote about strength and dignity, because I thought that this would be over by now, and I'm scared. Again, I feel like I'm faced with my mortality and all of the things that come with it. And I thought I was cried out. So here we are, I'm crying again, whatever. But when my oncologist said that radiologists do make mistakes, I asked him how he felt about the radiologist's impressions on my imaging report, and he said nothing. He didn't say anything at all. So that makes me nervous, and I wish that I could do something in the meantime to start helping to prevent, but I mean, it's cancer. There it is. Hannah's excited that I will be radioactive again. She is a huge Imagine Dragons fan, and with their song Radioactive, she just thinks she thinks that's hilarious. But she did ask me yesterday, which it was a hard thing to hear come out of my 11-year-old's mouth, but it shows me that she has some understanding of how cancer works and kind of what to expect. She said, well, what is a rare form of cancer? And I said, well, my cancer is a rare form of cancer. And she was asking more of the rarest, and I don't know that offhand, but my neuroendocrine cancer is rare. And then she said, well, what about grandpa's cancer? And I said, no, that was more common. As you know, he had colorectal. And she paused for a minute, and then she asked me, so does that mean when I'm older and when Sissy's older that we'll have cancer? And having to answer that was a hard thing to do, because while it's not a guarantee that she'll have cancer, the probability is very high because of how many people in my family have had cancer. So hard things to face as a mother and a wife and a daughter and a friend and everything in between. So it's not over yet. I was hoping that it would be. So there it is. I wish I had better news to report, but c'est la vie. Anyway, thank you for your prayers and well wishes, your good vibes, your juju, and your thoughts, and everything that you're throwing out into the universe on my behalf. I'm in it to win it. I'm in it to win it. And I hope that this is just radiology being a little extra cautious. So keep stitching. That's all I have to report. So I will catch you guys later. And like I said before, have a great day stitching, and I'll see you later.